Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another video. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2021 film, Those Who Wish Me Dead. So, Those Who Wish Me Dead is a movie about a kid who's on the run from some criminals basically, and then Angelina Jolie's character takes him in and they kind of try to escape from the criminals. And yeah, that's basically the whole premise. Throw some fire in there, you throw some side characters in there. But yeah, that's basically all there is to this movie. It's not a complicated plot, and even though it's not a complicated plot, there is actually still quite a lot of, not necessarily plot holes, but plot contrivances that I at least noticed throughout watching. For example, at one point near the start of the film, there's like a lightning storm, and Angelina Jolie's character, Hannah, is like, uh-oh, this lightning storm is going to be a big deal. They're foreshadowing that it's a big deal. Then it kind of disappears for a couple minutes. It comes back, shoots her watchtower, she falls to the ground, it's gone. She just chills there for another while longer. She like walks home, she finds the kid, she walks back to her watchtower, still nothing. Then they go out walking again to try and find civilization, and wouldn't you know it, the storm's back and it hits her again. So like, that lightning storm just came out of nowhere whenever the plot needed it to, basically. And the same thing with the fire. The fire was started like very early on, maybe like half an hour into the movie, and then it disappears for a while, and then the characters notice it, they leave, and then it disappears again for a while, and then it doesn't really show up actually till the end of the film. And given that the fire was like in the posters, in the trailers, just in general was a fairly big part of marketing in my opinion, it plays a very, very small role in this film. Like, I think maybe only the climax of the movie is set in the like forest on fire. Everything else, the forest is not on fire. And just in general, that felt like a little bit of false advertising, where like I thought the forest fire was going to be like a major factor in the film, but in the end, only like the very end of the film relied on it. In terms of the performances by our actors, Angelina Jolie, typically a very good actress. Not saying that she's bad in this film, but she's definitely not given a whole lot to work with. There's like one scene where she's supposed to be really sad and like she cries or whatever, but in general, I didn't think she had a fantastic role. The same goes for our villains, Aidan Gillen and Nicholas Hoult. I mean, like, they did an alright job as the villains, but like, again, they weren't given a whole lot to work with. A lot of people were just like not given a whole lot to work with, like range-wise in this film, I felt like. Especially Aidan Gillen, considering like, anytime I see him in a movie, I know he's going to be the villain. Like, I know they didn't make it a surprise that he's the villain in this film, but like, right off the bat, he's pretending to be a good guy for maybe like 30 seconds, and I'm like, oh, there's no way he's a good guy. He's obviously going to be the villain, and wouldn't you know it, he was the villain in the end. So yeah, that's just, I mean, like, he's not even playing out of his typecast. Nicholas Hoult is in a little bit different of a role than I usually see him in. Like, I only really recognize him from the X-Men movies, but yeah, just in general, Angelina Jolie, Aidan Gillen, Nicholas Hoult, those are the only people like I actually knew in this film, and like, they did alright, but again, not much to work with. So this film is rated R, mostly for language, a little bit for gore and violence, and that did lead to one cool death in my opinion. I don't want to spoil who it is or what happened, but there is one character who I thought that the death was really cool, but besides that, I think that they could have played up the R rating a little more, because we got like glimpses of this violence and gore, but then just in the end, didn't see a whole lot of it. So something that this movie thinks that it does really well is build the relationship between Hannah and the kid Connor. And let me just say, I don't think that they built this relationship very well. Like, they're on screen maybe 20 minutes together, maybe a little more, I don't know. It's an hour and 40-minute movie, and they don't really meet until like half hour, 40 minutes into the film, so I don't think that they're on screen that long together. There's like a couple scenes where they're like just like saying random weird tongue twisters, and then Angelina Jolie's character tells him how to build a fire so he can get girls, and just like, I guess that's bonding apparently. Like, I didn't feel like their connection was very strong. And then there's this moment where Angelina Jolie is like, yeah, go on without me, and like, they're trying to build this emotional moment where she's like letting him go, and he's like, no, I can't leave you. And I'm like, you literally just met this girl, man, like, come on. And you have important information that needs to make it out of this forest, and you're holding back for some girl that you met today. That, yeah, just like, he barely knows her, she barely knows him, and they make it act like they've known each other for like months. So I just mentioned how there's like some bonding that I felt was a little weird, like the tongue twisters were a little weird. Something else that's a little weird, there's just some like lines here and there that I found like kind of forced or contrived or out of place or something like that. Like at one point the kid's like, "You eat this stuff? No wonder you're so skinny." And then Angelina Jolie's like, "I'm not skinny, I'm slim," or some weird thing like that. Like that was weird to me. And then there's another one where Angelina Jolie has to like switch her shirt or something because there's a hole in it or something. So like shirtless scene, if that's what you guys are into. But yeah, she tries to switch her shirt and she's like, "Look away," and he's like, "Oh no, I'm fine, we shared enough today." Like, whoa, what the heck? Like that was a weird line for me. Like that's kind of weird, kid, but whatever. And yeah, just in general, a couple weird lines that felt out of place and unnatural mostly. So yeah, besides that, the script is very basic, just a couple of weird lines thrown in there and nothing special. So I think that's basically all I have to say about this film, so I'm now going to get into the ratings. In terms of entertainment, this movie was like semi-entertaining a little bit. Like there were parts that were entertaining, there were parts where I was like rolling my eyes. So I'm just going to give it a mediocre 6 out of 10 for entertainment. And in terms of quality of film, I've mentioned a lot of things that I didn't think were very well done. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 for quality of film, giving the film a total overall rating of 5.5 out of 10. So in general, is it a good movie? No. Is it a bad movie? No. If you're looking for something to watch, like, I wouldn't recommend this, but there's definitely a lot of worse things you can watch. And just, yeah, it's an alright movie. I wouldn't recommend it, but maybe this is something that you guys would like. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say today. So hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe down below. If you want more updates on my videos, make sure to check out my Instagram, ntd_films. Thank you guys all for watching, and have a good day.